Hi everybody, welcome back to New England Fire Cooking. I'm Aaron Higgins, and as you can see, we got some snow on the roofs here in New England. Cold weather is officially here, and it's this time of year when I'm really starting to think about hearty, warm your bones dinners. And this venison stroganoff I'm going to show you guys in this video is exactly that. Let's get to grilling.
So this backstrap comes from Wild Fork Foods. It's a place that my brother-in-law turned me on to. They got retail stores down south. The last time I visited one was in Florida. But they do online sales, and this is where I got this. And the first thing I want to do here, I don't know if you can see on this this tenderloin, is any kind of silver skin, anything like that, you just want to trim off. You want to get that off of there. It's just going to be tough and rubbery and, hard to chew through. And we want to make something nice and tender. So just punch underneath and just peel it off with a knife. Once that's done, it's time to season. We're going to be using the Cattleman's Smokehouse rub. What I'm doing is a nice medium coat over these back straps or tenderloins. Essentially, that's what you're cooking here. You're cooking tenderloin. It's just not nearly as big as a beef tenderloin. Pat your seasoning right in. Make sure you get all sides. That's very important. Get all sides of these back straps. And then once we get a nice medium coat on these bad boys, we're going to let them hang out for a little bit, come up to room temperature. Okay, so before we put these back straps on the smoker, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them together, and I've got some butcher's twine set down on this board here, and I'm going to fit these together so they're just kind of, nice and uniform shape. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to truss them. And the easiest way to do this is tie the first knot like you would for your shoes, but go one further twist. And when you tighten it down, it'll hold its position there. It won't come loose on you. So give it a wrap and then wrap it again and then finish off with just a simple knot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the scissors and I'm just going to trim all this, and then we're going to be ready for the smoker. Keep in mind, we're not going to be using these trusses the entire cook. We're just using it to hold this thing together while it's on the smoker. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my Traeger Pro 34 pellet smoker right up to 180 degrees. Really not going too hot, but we're only going to have these on the smoker for about an hour. So here we are. We've got our venison backstrap right on the smoker. We're just going to let it do its thing, bathe in smoke for about an hour or until these backstraps are right around rare, maybe a little under. Let's see how we're doing here. Oh yeah. Okay, this looks good. It's darkened up a little bit. Smells fantastic. You're starting to get a nice smell out of it. Now it's time to get these on the board and get these trusses off. And this first thing we got to do is we got to cut these trusses off because we're going to slice this relatively thin. I'm just going to grab myself a pair of scissors here, and I'm just going to snip these trusses right off so we can slice this. Now I'm just going to slice up these back straps to anywhere between 1/8 and 1/4 inch thick. If you go a little bit thicker or a little bit thinner, that's fine. But this is smelling absolutely amazing, guys. Right around rare. We're going to finish them off in the pan with the mushrooms, the onions, and our sauce. This second back strap, just as good as the first. Again, we want to slice these off. About 1/4 inch thick is what I've decided to settle on here. Once we get these sliced up, it's time to get them in the cast iron and get them browned. And to do that, I've got my big old cast iron here. I'm just going to toss a little olive oil in. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this venison, this rare venison, and just brown it, basically. You don't want to cook it completely through. If you like your meat more well done, you certainly can do that. But what I'm doing here is I'm just going to get them right in this oil, in this cast iron, and I'm going to move them around and just give them a good light browning. And just got this wooden spatula here, and I'm just going to move these chunks of venison around and just brown them up. Once you got your venison brown, just scoop it out, set it on a plate, and set it aside, keep it warm. I'm just going to put it in this bowl here. Should be big enough. But set it aside, tent it with foil, keep it warm. So now what we're going to do is add a couple tablespoons of butter to all the goodness and all the residue that's left in this pan from the venison, and we're just going to move it around and get it melted. Next, I've got 8 ounces of sliced mushrooms going right in there. Half of a large yellow onion chopped. We're just going to add that to it. And now we're just going to move it around and let it all get happy in this cast iron. And right when my mushrooms and onions start getting to be around al dente, I'm going to add a little bit of garlic and let that saute along to finish. After a couple minutes, you want to add some liquid to this. And in this mason jar, what I have is a 1/2 cup of beef broth to a 1/2 cup of Cabernet red wine. I'm just going to add this right to the vegetables and let that start to cook down a little bit. Let some of that alcohol cook off. After your wine and beef broth, you want to throw in a tablespoon of flour. It's just going to act like a thickening agent. We're going to mix this flour in. We're just going to let it simmer for a few minutes until you see it start to visibly thicken up. Once your sauce starts to thicken, you're going to add a cup of heavy whipping cream. Give it a good mix, get everything all mixed together and all well incorporated, and just let it continue to simmer. So after adding that cold cream, you want to let your sauce get back up to a simmer, because it's very important that you introduce some of this sauce mixture here. I'm just doing this by the spoonful so the sour cream doesn't curdle. You want to add some of this hot sauce right to this sour cream, and I've got about anywhere between a third and half a cup. I just kind of eyeballed it, but you just want to mix that around a little bit and introduce that sauce slowly to the sour cream so it doesn't curdle. And as you can see, I'm introducing this sauce to the sour cream kind of as a as-needed basis, so to speak. I don't want to put in too much, and I don't want to put in too little, so it's better to just kind of creep up on it. And then once you get it to a slurry that kind of looks like this, you're in pretty good shape, and you can just add it right to your sauce mixture. Now get that sour cream right in the skillet, then add about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Follow that up with a teaspoon or two of some stone ground mustard, some kosher salt, and some coarse ground black pepper to taste. Now just give it a nice good stir and get all those ingredients well incorporated. We'll be ready to add some venison. Now we're going to add the venison backstrap that we set aside in this bowl. And now what we want to do is you just want to thoroughly mix this in to this mushroom sauce, this mushroom cream sauce, and this smells absolutely fantastic, you guys. This is unbelievable. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna let this simmer until the meat is cooked through, or if the meat is already completely cooked, you can just bring it to whatever temperature you wanna eat it at and serve it up. I cooked this venison backstrap on the smoker until it was just about rare. So I'm gonna let it simmer, and I'm gonna let it cook through a little bit more, and just kind of let these flavors come together a little bit, and then I'm gonna serve it over some egg noodles. It's gonna be dinner time. So while our venison is simmering in the cream sauce, I just got a pot of water here. I'm putting it on this other burner, and I'm just going to bring it to a boil. And then after that, I'm going to add this package of egg noodles. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cook them per the instructions on the back, really. If you like yours al dente, you could shorten that cooking time a little bit, but I want these nice and soft. Once your egg noodles are cooked, what I did was I just strained them and I returned them to the pot and removed it from the heat. Now I'm going to toss this pat of butter in here, and I'm just going to move it around inside the pot. It'll help keep these noodles from sticking together. Plus, butter tastes good. You could use olive oil if you like, but I'm using butter. Now generously pile these egg noodles right onto a plate. Get yourself a nice big hearty helping. Next, let's ladle on the good stuff. This smells absolutely awesome. Looks really, really good. That creaminess, sauce. You wouldn't believe how good this smells. Load up on this stuff too. Do not skimp. Get yourself plenty of that sauce. Get yourself plenty of that meat, those mushrooms. It's going to be absolutely delicious. Finally, garnish it with some chopped green onions. Give it a little color pop, and we're ready to go. This looks absolutely beautiful. Now, there's only one thing left to do.
Okay, you guys, here we are. As you can see, I moved this inside. The wind picked up and it started to rain. So when the wind picks up, it's kind of hard to hear me because it's always rustling the camera, the microphone, I should say. So I moved this inside, but here we are, venison stroganoff, and I cannot wait to get down on this. I'm gonna go for this big old honking piece of venison right here. Yeah. And get some of these noodles as well. One of the first things I can tell you is that the smokiness comes right through. And that is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. And then you get the mushrooms, you get the onions, you get that beef stock, the red wine, and then the creaminess of the sauce. It's just absolutely unbelievable. Get some more of these noodles here, and then I'm gonna go after some of these mushrooms. I love mushrooms. Mushrooms are soft or tender. But onions, you get the flavor in there, but they just kind of disappear into the sauce. Now that right there hits a spot on a cold winter day. Absolutely. Here we go again. Another big old piece of venison. Mmm. It's tender, cooked perfect, seasoned perfectly. And you don't have to do this with venison, guys. You could do this with beef. You know, you could use shaved steak. You could use, you could use something like a London broil and just, slice it real thin. That would work perfect. And I gotta tell you, man, I've been eating venison for a long time, and it is easily one of my favorites. Venison, wild boar, and elk. And it'd definitely be, in the top 5 for wild game for me. Mm. Mm-hmm. This is something I'll make, 5-6 times a winter, easily. I'll have it at least once a month, if not more. That is fantastic. Well, guys, I could keep eating and talking all day, but I got a family that's eagerly waiting. I think someone might be waking up. I got a family that's eagerly waiting, or waking up and waiting, to eat dinner. Or should I say, early dinner, late lunch, early dinner. But if you like what you see here, and you like what we're doing on this channel, please give us a subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, check us out on Facebook. We're on both of those social media platforms. If you have any interest in Traeger pellet grills, please visit the link that I put in the description of this video. It's our affiliate link. It helps us out big time when you guys use that link to go visit their website and check out any of their products. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you give something like this a shot. It's real simple, and it's a win across the board. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and we'll see you next time.